We appreciate you, all of you who took your time to be here. Today, I want to recognize a special kind of people. I know Millicent asked those who have passed through the Africa Center for Public Speaking to put their thumbs up, but I want you to go a step further. I can see Stephen, I can see Dorothy, and many of you who have been at the Africa Center for Public Speaking. You went through the professional speakers course or the executive professional speakers course or regular personal coaching. I would want you to actually write in the chat, just write in the chat that I am an alumni of the Africa Center for Public Speaking, and maybe one thing that you could share with the others that stood out for you when you took the course. What is that stood out for you? And what is that you are applying in your life and career as a public speaker? What is that helped you very much to improve on your speaking skills? So today we want to dive into what I call the 3 pillars of public speaking. All of you here, you need to understand that the world, as I say, is ruled by public speakers. Those of you who will master the art of speaking and be able to share your message with effectiveness out there, you will realize one thing: you will be noticed and you will stand out as a leader. One guy said that some of the best thinkers are not leaders. Why? Because they cannot communicate. And so it is clear then that rhetorical study in its strict sense is concerned with modes of persuasion. It's concerned with modes of persuasion. And that's why the 3 pillars of public speaking becomes key when it comes to matters of rhetorical studies and even delivery of speeches. So what are these 3 pillars? These are Greek words. And the first one that I want to share with you is logos. Logos is the first pillar. This is logical argument. When you are constructing a speech, you need to ask yourself, does my message make sense? Does my message make sense? Is it based on facts, statistics, and evidence? In other words, can you produce facts? Can you produce statistics? Can you produce evidence in your message? That's what we call logos, logical argument. The second pillar is, this is credibility, or the character of the speaker. This is where the word ethics is taken from. Now, before you can convince an audience to accept anything you say, they have to accept you as credible. Now, listen to me. This is not about your confidence, experience, or expertise. You could have all that. But you know what? People tend to believe people they respect. People tend to believe people they respect. And therefore, ethos then becomes such a powerful pillar, enabling you, the speaker, to communicate effectively and influence your audience. The third pillar is pathos. Pathos. This is emotional connection to the audience. It is emotional connection to the audience. It is the quality of persuasive presentation which appeals to the emotions of the audience. The quality of persuasive presentation which appeals to the emotions of the audience. Do your words evoke feelings of sympathy, love, fear, joy, connection, reconciliation? What do your words evoke? Now, emotional connection can be created in many ways. perhaps most notably through stories. So if you want to develop purpose with your audience, you will need to develop your skill as a storyteller. Now, storytelling is a powerful technique in developing purpose and connecting with your audience. This is because people love stories. Anytime you're telling people a story, people then connect with you very easily. People will listen. We rush to watch news. We watch movies. Basically, these are stories. We love it when somebody is sharing with us their life story, or they're sharing with us something that they have gone through. Generally, the mind of human beings gets attracted to stories. So if you want to develop emotional connection with your audience, you will need to master the art of storytelling. You need to master the art of storytelling. At this juncture, I want us to share a video of one of the sons of the soil, a former American president who has his roots here in Kenya, that's Barack Obama, and just learn from this short video how Barack Obama brings out logos, ethos, and pathos. And then we will continue from there. Millicent, we can't hear the video. The sound is...
From this massacre are sickening.
Yes.
Men, women, children lying in of children.
So start it again.
Okay.
The situation profoundly changed.
We've lost the sound again.
Well, we don't seem to get the audio, please.
Yeah, Millicent.
His dead children, imploring them to get up and walk.
So start it and then don't mute your audio, Millicent.
Oh, okay, okay, I get it.
Yes, don't mute your audio, please.
The situation profoundly changed, though, on August 21st, when Assad's government gassed to death over 1,000 people, including hundreds of children. The images from this massacre are sickening. Men, women, children lying in rows, killed by poison gas. Others foaming at the mouth, gasping for breath. A father clutching his dead children, imploring them to get up and walk. If we fail to act, the Assad regime will see no reason to stop using chemical weapons. As the ban against these weapons erodes, other tyrants will have no reason to think twice about acquiring poison gas and using them. Over time, our troops would again face the prospect of chemical warfare on the battlefield. And it could be easier for terrorist organizations to obtain these weapons and to use them to attack civilians. If fighting spills beyond Syria's borders, these weapons could threaten allies like Turkey, Jordan, and Israel. And a failure to stand against the use of chemical weapons would weaken prohibitions against other weapons of mass destruction and embolden Assad's ally, Iran, which must decide whether to ignore international law by building a nuclear weapon or to take a more peaceful path. That's my judgment as Commander-in-Chief. But I'm also the president of the world's oldest constitutional democracy.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I'm sure you have seen right from that short clip how Barack Obama produces or uses pathos and uses again logos, and then with the audience or bringing out the reason why they need to Syria or attack Assad, the president of Syria. So logos, ethos, and pathos are what we refer as the three pillars of public speaking. Now, I'm sure if I ask you which one do you think is more important, some of you could say logos is more important than ethos, or ethos is more important than pathos, or pathos is more important than ethos or logos. This evening, that you need the three pillars to have a balanced speech. I know there are speakers that will be biased maybe to use pathos more, but at the end of the day, if your speech lacks ethos, logos, it will not stand the test of time. It's easy again for you maybe to present logos only, or to have a very good ethical background that can be presented. But it doesn't matter how big your CV is or your background, if you cannot produce logos to speak and have an emotional connection with your audience, your speech will not stand the test of time. So it's important then for us to really, really make sure as we are organizing our speech, it contains logos, it contains ethos, and at the same time, pathos. So when we say that the speech depends on the personal character of the speaker, which pillar are we referring to? Which pillar are we referring to? Can somebody tell me? I want to interact now with people. Maybe you can write in the chat. When we say that the speech depends on the personal character of the speaker, which pillar are we referring to? Yes, I see Eric has raised his hand.
Yes, great. Thank you, Dan Mugera. When we talk about the personality of a person having to play in his articulation for public speaking, well, I would want to acknowledge that some people have an easier way, which may come as per talent or per experience, which comes with training, having to talk for longer schedules within which they can perfect.
Wait a minute. I had asked a question, Eric. So I don't know whether you are answering that question or you are.
Oh yes, I'm answering the question. I'm saying that
context. So I've asked a question. When we say the speech depends on the personal character of the speaker, which pillar are we referring to? Rita? Maybe you can unmute Rita. Millicent? Or somebody can write on the chats also.
Yeah, we are speaking about the credibility of the character of the
Pamela Summit to all Patricia Masero saying ethos. Ima Sidi also saying ethos. Yes. When we say that the speech depends on the personal character of the speaker, then we are talking about ethos. What about when we say that the speech depends on putting evidence in a certain frame of mind? Which pillar are we referring to? When we say that the speech depends on putting evidence in a certain frame of mind, maybe you can go to the charts. What do you think? Somebody saying logos. Rosaline is saying logos. Cecilia Maluda is saying logos. Karen Mutende also says logos. Listen to the question keenly. When we say that the speech depends on putting evidence in a certain frame of mind, it's the evidence, yes, but you have to put it in a certain frame of mind. That is not logos. I'm sorry to say this. This is pathos. Because you are putting the evidence, but in a certain frame of mind. You are emotionally appealing using that evidence. That becomes pathos. And then when we say that the speech depends on the proof or the apparent proof of the words provided by the speech itself. Which pillar is that? Charts again. Which pillar is that when you say that the speech depends on the proof or apparent proof provided by the words of the speech itself? Angela, I can see you saying logos. Naomi saying logos. I also see Penina also saying logos. And John Kennedy also says logos. Now, this is logos. So it's important whether you are the one delivering a speech or you are listening to a speaker. So to a speaker, it doesn't matter whether it's the president, a prime minister, or a member of parliament promising you something, okay, or a CEO from somewhere, or your local leader, or even a pastor speaking to you, your lecturer in college, or your friends delivering a speech. Check and tick. Does this speech contain logos? Does this speech contain ethos? And does this speech contain purpose? If you train yourself to really evaluate speeches based on the three pillars of public speaking, you can note and see that there is a problem with this speech. This person emotionally connecting is arousing, but if we're content, there is no logical evidence. How these things it says they're going to be done, how they're going to be done. And again, you check the person of the speaker. Is the speaker ethical? Is there a track record? When he says this is going to be done, in the past, was it done? What are his values? That way, you are able to know whether there is any chance that the speech will stand the test of time. Now, key things. Persuasion is achieved by the speaker's character when the speech is so spoken as to make it seem credible. When we say persuasion is achieved by the speaker's character when his speech is so make him seem credible, you know that right there we are referring to ethos. And when we say that persuasion may come through the hearers when the speech stirs their emotions, you know we are referring to pathos. And when we say that persuasion is effected through itself, when we have proved a truth or an apparent truth by the means of the persuasive argument suitable to the case in question, then you know we are referring to logos. So then, ladies and gentlemen, the man or the woman who is in command of the three means of effecting persuasion should be able to, one, reason logically. You should be able to reason logically. Now, one of the greatest problems today, or the challenge that we have in the society, is logical, or the ability of people to reason logically. Common sense is no longer common sense. People no longer apply common sense in a lot of things. In fact, somebody joked and said we should convince people that common sense is an app so that they can download it and use it often. So reason logically. If you want to produce logic, then learn to reason logically. And then understand human character and goodness in their various forms. Understand human character and goodness in their various forms. That is the only way you will develop ethics. Understand human character and goodness in their various forms. What are people's values and principles and beliefs? Begin to understand that and inculcate that within your life. And slowly by slowly, you find that you rise up to a level where people will respect you. You know, I said, when it comes to ethos, that it doesn't matter your experience and expertise. People listen to people they respect. So develop, and remember, respect is earned. So develop ethos, and you will find yourself standing out to move people to another level wherever you stand to speak. And then finally, understand the emotions. Know their causes and ways in which they are excited. So understand people's emotion. If you want to make people happy, how do you capture the mood of your communication and speak in such a manner that people can be happy? If you are talking to people and you want them to grasp this message, a sad message, how do you evoke emotions of sadness? How do you evoke emotions of seriousness? How do you evoke emotions of shock in people? Only mastering pathos, emotional connection with your audience will you stand out and grow to that level where whenever you stand to speak, the three pillars of public speaking comes in and you're able to connect with your audience, you're able to produce logical evidence, logical argument, and also at the same time, people listen to you because they respect you. Ladies and gentlemen, these are the three pillars of public speaking. Thank you very much for listening to me. I want us to engage a quality time today of question and answer. And God bless you as we continue with this act this evening. Back to you, Millicent.
Oh my, I already see the claps are coming in. Makofi, Makofi. Right? Oh, that was brilliant. I think for me personally, even as we transition to the Q&A, I think the topic of the three pillars is always like very profound, especially even like you've really brought it out clearly about how much ethos really plays part in you as the speaker. Like we cannot neglect our character even as we put on together a presentation, or if we intend to influence people by what we have for them. We need to be very intentional about our character as individuals, because it does play part in our delivery. So thank you again. Thank you so much. So as we transition to the Q&A, this is your chance. If you have a question for our coach, we can do it in two ways. You can have your hands up, or if you are not in a very quiet space, you can leave your question in the chat box, and then I will read it to you. I see Alvo Kiongozi wa watu. Is your hand up? You have a question, Kiongozi? Did I lose him?
Hello.
Okay.
Hello.
Close up already.
I wanted to ask if the speaker can repeat the three pillars of public speaking. Only that.
Yeah, Alvo, well, yes, I can repeat that, but then this session has been recorded, and you're going to get a recording that you can listen at your own time. But I talked about logos, which is logical argument, ethos, which is the character or credibility of the speaker, and pathos, which is emotional connection with the speaker. Thank you.
Okay. Alice, over to you. Your hand is up. What's your question?
Okay, thank you, Dan, for the presentation. You're so happy. But I'd like to ask, when time is limited, how do you have a balance between, especially the two pillars of logos and pathos? How do you have a balance when you have limited time so that you ensure your main point comes across, yet convince the people?
Very, very important question. Remember, your points are captured within logos, Patricia. Alice. Your points will be captured within logos. So even when you have limited time, let's say you've gone to a meeting and they had told you that we're going to allocate you 30 minutes to speak to us. And then within no time, the organizers come to you and tell you, you know what, time is so much gone and you only have 5 minutes to speak to us. So what is the most important thing or the heart of your message that you can share within the shortest time possible? Ask yourself that. And then check, and within your logos, pinpoint that. Already develop that credibility with your audience and emotional connection with your audience. Now, when we talk about emotional connection with your audience, this is not just in the content, it is the way you deliver the message, Alice. So you may come somewhere and deliver and say what you wanted to say. That becomes logos alone. But when you are able to have facial expression, eye contact, hand gestures, body language, tone variation, all these things enables you to connect with your audience. Because it's not just what you say, but how you say it, Alice. And so all these what we call the physiological factors of speaking enables you to connect with the audience. So even if you have 3 minutes, they are enough to enable you to connect and deliver your message effectively. I hope that helps you.
Thank you. Well answered.
Okay, thank you. Eric, you can go on with your question. I see your hand is up.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Dan, for your presentation about the 3 pillars of public speaking. Now, my question would have to touch around what is the nexus between biasness or interests in delivery of speeches in a public setting, for instance, political settings. What is this nexus that brings about that biasness doesn't really overflow in part of the public conversation that should be realized within public speakers, especially in a political setting? Thank you.
Okay, for question, Eric. Remember, we talked about logos, ethos, and pathos. Now, biasness most of the time originates from the speaker himself. Okay, the beliefs of the speaker, the principles of the speaker, the values of the speaker. So what is that? Ethos, the credibility of the speaker. Now, a speaker can be biased based on different things and his own values and also his own principles and beliefs. Your work is to check on that credibility of the content or the logos, and then check at the capacity to emotionally connect with you. You don't have to agree. Sometimes you can disagree to agree to disagree, or disagree to disagree with a speaker. That's why you are there as a listener. The greatest problem I see in our societies is that we depend so much on emotional connection. And then a speaker that seems to really emotionally connect with us, we drop our sense of logic down, and we are not able to reason whether that content can stand the test of time. And that's why most of the time you find us, after some time, we are the same people complaining because we did not check whether logos was there. And if there was logos, how credible is that logos? But we were only relying on emotional connection because of our own biases. Remember, the audiences also have their own biases. So if they are listening to you with those biases, then they have already placed you somewhere. And that becomes a very difficult thing sometimes. I don't know whether that helps you, Aaron.
Yes, it does a great deal. Thank you, Dan.
All right, we still have a question from Bethel, but before we go to Bethel, allow me to read some of the comments that are coming in. Cecilia Molunda says, thanks, Dan, I have learned powerful indeed. And then Vincent also said that fantastic presentation right there, senior, to you, coach. We also have a comment from Sami Tirop. He says, I don't know if it's a question, but let me read it. I said, comment about the grooming of the speaker. And then also we have Rachel Mbula Musyoka, who says, I appreciate Mr. Dan's teaching. I am a great speaker because of him. This is Rachel, Chairman, National Government Affirmative Action Fund. Yes. And then Eric says, well addressed at Dan Mugera. Thank you for your incredible insight. So yeah, we appreciate the comments as well. Now I can go back to Bethel. Bethel Mutunga, your hand is up. You can proceed with your question.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Dan, for your good presentation. I had a question. Let's say, for example, you remember during Corona, so many people lost their jobs. Like if, for example, you were a really good speaker then, and it's been a while since you did a presentation, how do you get back out there? How do you get back your niche?
Yeah, I agree. No, it's important for us to know that public speaking is an art. Of course, there is the science of public speaking, which mostly affects you during preparation. But when you're doing the presentation, that's an art. Now, it's important for us to know that an art can rust. When you don't use it, it rusts. And that's where a lot of people find themselves. Even our students, They will come to class, they learn public speaking, they become better, and then they go out there and they don't use the skill. So with time, you have to refresh yourself and use the skill. You only get better by using the skill because the skill can rust. If I stop speaking, let's say for a year, I can tell you that by next year, I will not be as good as I am because I've not been sharpening my sword of speaking. So I will encourage you, if you feel that you have lost your niche, practice, 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 practice. And that's where we are existing, so that you can come back maybe for a refresher course or just get opportunities, volunteers to speak, volunteer to MC. Slowly by slowly, you find yourself developing the skill. Hope this helps you.
Yes, yes.
I see John Kennedy, who said, what techniques do you recommend for stage fright or nervousness? Now, this is a major problem. And sometimes just by reading, or it will not, yes, I'm going to share a few, but this cannot help unless you devote yourself to a training or a coaching program, because different people have different reasons why they suffer stage fright. And so it would be important for me to know, John Kennedy, what really are the reasons? And we do our own evaluation when you come for training and get to know, is it a personality problem? Or is it an environmental problem? Or is it a self-esteem issue? Or could it be something that you suffer trauma as you are growing up? Or is it a behavioral problem? So we get to check what really could be the reason why you are not confident or you suffer stage fright. And then now, based on the problem that you have or the challenge that you face, we begin to help you through coaching to overcome, to manage first that problem and then overcome that problem. So yes, I could say you need to prepare handily so that you can be able to overcome stage fright. But that may not be the problem. Your problem could be a personality problem. And so when it comes to personality problem, you need to understand yourself. Are you an introvert or an extrovert or a combination of both blends? All right? And then check yourself, because if you're a sanguine, sanguines have a problem with preparation. They are last minute people, so they will prepare last minute. So how do we help you to overcome that? If you're a choleric, you might be overconfident, and that could be your greatest hindrance. And so you find yourself going blank on stage, and you're a choleric who wants to be in control, and you will want to really be in control. Yes, you have already lost it. So how do you regulate that and become humble, even when you go on stage to address people? But if you are a melancholy or you're phlegmatic, this could be a problem now of worry and fear. Melancholies they are perfectionists, they are over analytical, so they analyze things a lot. A speech of 5 minutes, a melancholy will spend countless time trying to analyze and check whether everything is correct, and that can be the greatest undoing of a melancholy, delivering the best speech. So Kennedy, there are various reasons why people suffer fright, and only through coaching process and training we are able to underscore what really is the issue and be able to help you through the process to manage and also overcome. Thank you.
All right.
Listen.
All right, thank you. So Sami confirms that it was a question in the chat box. So again, he asks, it said image is everything. How can a speaker dress while addressing, for example, the youth or professionals?
Good. Speaking is a conservative job. This is what I like saying. So it's important for you to know how to dress professionally. Maybe one of the sessions in the future will come here to address about grooming and the psychology of colors. Which colors should you combine when you are going on stage, and which colors you want to avoid when you are going on stage? The rule of 3 still apply when it comes to combination of colors, but dress smart. A friend of mine likes saying, dress the way you would like to be addressed. So when you're going to speak to youths, it depends with the occasion. Is it an official occasion or is it's a retreat or a casual occasion? Depending on the event, you can dress casually smart or casual, but then you need to make sure that your dressing does not distract from what you're really saying. That said, it's important for me to say public speaking is not grooming. Yes, grooming has its part in public speaking. I have seen people dress so smartly until they open up their mouth. So spend more time in the preparation of your message. Invest in preparation of the message rather than too much of what you're going to put on. Because I see people invest so much in that and then they stand before an audience and they don't have a message. They can't deliver the speech effectively. That is a great undoing. So I hope that helps you, Samity Road.
All right, thank you. So we have another question in the chat box from Daniel Karaoke, and I take this to be in line with the personality.
I see that, Millicent. How would I know which category I'm in, whether I have any issue in public speaking? Do you assess? Yes, we do assess. We do assess you right from the beginning, and even we are one of the only few public speaking program that we offer that offers personality test. We are able to assess you through a personality test and check which personality do you belong to and help you to speak from your personality point of view without trying to imitate anybody. Because one of the greatest problem, again, we have in public speaking is imitation. You find introverts try to or come to a place where they think extroverts are better speakers than themselves. And so they begin to imitate the energy of the extroverts instead of developing their own energy and communicate effectively with their audience. So yes, we do assess, Daniel, my namesake.
Okay, all right, thank you. If there's any, we can take one more question if there's any to close the Q&A session. Okay. I will take that as all right. I see Eric has asked, what are the charges surrounding this public speaking training session? Allow me to take that one. I'm going to talk about it even as we let the coach go. So for the last time, we can give a round of applause, a virtual round of applause to our coach. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the session that we've just had. So yeah, that was the perfect question from you, Eric, as we transition to as we come to a close. It's just right that we introduce ourselves, who we are, just for the new people who haven't, this is the first time they're encountering us, and even for those who have crossed our path before. We are the Africa Center for Public Speaking. And as the name says, we are a training institution where we focus on a couple of personal development trainings and mainly public speaking. And allow me to just share a presentation even as I give you a few details on what we offer at the Public Speaking Center and the other courses. Just allow me, I'm just sharing a slide here. Dan, is my screen visible? Kindly confirm.
Yes.
All right. So yeah, we are the Africa Center for Public Speaking, and some of the courses that we do offer are the public speaking programs. And under public speaking, we have 3 programs that I want to quickly just talk about. We have the professional speakers course, and the professional speakers course, it's a group setting training that we do offer. It runs for 5 weeks. And in those 5 weeks, you have classes every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday evening from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. And we offer them at our offices at Luther Plaza along Nyerere Road in Nairobi. If you're not within Nairobi,
I want to show.
Sorry?
You may want to show the causes. We
So I
can't
didn't-
see the courses on the screen.
Oh no, I just I'll explain. I don't have
All
the
right.
outline of the courses
Okay.
yet. So I'm just explaining. So it's again the professional speakers course. It's a class setup running for 5 weeks. And in those 5 weeks, you have classes every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Those are 2 hours. So that's a total of 15 sessions. If you're not able to join us in class physically, we have an online option that you can join in. And another thing to note, our classes are very practical. And that meaning that mostly 80% of our classes are practical and 20% are theory. And to ensure that we offer value to our students, we have a limit. Each class takes a limit of 10 students and options of 2 students to join virtually. That's on the public speaking classes. Now, if you feel like maybe your schedule will not allow you to fit into the professional speakers class, maybe your schedule doesn't allow that, we do have the executive speakers course. Now, executive speakers course, it's a one-on-one session where it's just you and the coach. We'll take you through the program. Another difference between this one and the professional speakers course, it's that this one runs for 18 sessions, has 18 sessions in total. It's a one-on-one, so the schedule is very flexible. It's dependent on your schedule and the coach's schedule. You're able to come up with a schedule that works for you. If you want to meet maybe once or twice a week or the timing that works for you, you will align with the coach. That's the executive speakers course. And the third program that we have under the public speaking course, it's the foundational speakers course. Now that one we have for minors. If you have a child between the age of 7 to 17, then we have a program. It's called the foundational speakers course again. And we offer them in 2 ways. We have the programs that run during the school holidays. We just had one in April. We're going to have another one in August, and we're going to have another one in November and December. Also, other than that, we have classes on Saturdays. Every Saturday from 9 a.m. to noon, we have classes at our offices at Luther Plaza for the kids. So if you have a child and you'd want to enroll them for a public speaking class so that they may start early, knowing how to express themselves, building their confidence, we would love to have them in one of our classes. Other than that, we also have leadership development programs. So if you're here, you're a leader, or you're really intrigued and you feel like you have a calling to get into the leadership space and you want to work on yourself, you as a leader, and also you as a leader who serves, then we have programs that would really help you work on yourself as a leader. We call it like work within you as a leader and also work with like you as a leader to others. We have really good programs at the center. If you want any other information, we can provide you. I'll give the contact details later. We also have a couple of personal development programs that we offer for you, whether it's self-growth, self-awareness, anything you think about personal development. We have some programs based on your need, so you can get in touch with us, tell us what your need is, what your struggle is, and we can pair you with a program that we feel would be ideal for you at this point. Also, we do have a job interview preparation skill program. So if you're here, you have a big interview that you're preparing up for, or you're tired of always getting the invitation to an interview room, but you never really get the call for a job, we have a program also to help you with that, to help you improve your job interview preparation skills or prepare for that big job that you've really been eyeing and you have an offer presented for an interview meeting. We have that. Last but not least, we also have some books. I mentioned at the intro that Coach Dan is also an author, and there are 2 books under his belt. He has the Public Speaking from the Heart. It's an ebook, and for today only, he offered to make the book available to us. If you're here and want to purchase the book, it's a soft copy again. It's Public Speaking from the Heart. It's going for 300 shillings, only 300 Kenya shillings. It will be available to you. Also, another book that Coach Dan has written is Eradicating a Poverty Mindset. Now, that one, we have an e-copy and also a soft copy. And if you'd want to buy, maybe I can just mention the charges. For the soft copy, it's 400 shillings. And for the hard copy, it normally goes for 1,000 bob. But for today, for just a token of appreciation for you being here, making some time to join here, we're going to offer it to you at a discounted rate. Instead of 1,000 shillings, you're gonna get it for 850 if you're ready. Other than that, we don't take it for granted that you made some time apart to join us today. And for that, we do have some discounts for you. Now, I've mentioned the program, and maybe it is a program that that really stuck with you and you'd want to go ahead and subscribe or even buy. That's our email at the top. You can write to us right now, or you can send us a text at that number. The email is info@publicspeakingtc.org. Again, it's info@publicspeakingtc.org, or you can send us a text either on WhatsApp or just on text to +254 734 300 900. Now, if you want to, or I didn't mention, so the next intake for the professional speakers course, we have an intake in July on 8th. If you'd want to be part of that class, you can text us that. You can just text us 10% discount professional speakers course. Just text us that, and that will activate your 10% discount for the next intake. Maybe I can just mention, so for the course, it's normally 38,000 shillings for the whole program. That runs again for 5 weeks, a total of 15 sessions. It's 38,000, and part of that 38,000 is a 3,000 registration fee. So if you'd want to secure your slot for the July class, you can send us 10% discount code to that text, and that will activate your discount. If you'd want to enroll for the executive speakers course, again, you can just send a text to the number there or an email with the subject 10% discount code for the executive speakers course. Or maybe if you want to enroll for the Saturday class, you can send a text or an email with the text 10% discount code for the foundational speakers course. Also, you'd want to purchase the books. Again, the books are two. There's the Public Speaking from the Heart. That one is a soft copy. You can just send a text as well or an email with that subject line, and we will our team will contact you and let you know how you will go about it. Or also, if you want to get the book Eradicating a Poverty Mindset by Coach Dan Mugera, we have two options. You can get a soft copy or a hard copy. You can also reach out to us with a text or an email, and we will let you know how you can purchase that. So that's that. Okay, and we will reach out to you. I see Patricia is asking age limit for kids for Saturday classes. So normally we take the kids for the Saturday classes are 7 to 17. That's ideally the gap. But at the moment, we even have kids at the age of 6, and they are doing well. Who the parents really wanted them to join the class. So we've been doing well. The classes are very practical. Very practical. Again, we do focus on an 80% practicality and 20% theory. So the kids do fare along just well. But ideally, if the kid is between 7 to 17, that's the age you go for. But if you have a 6-year-old who's about to turn 7, that would still work. How can we purchase the soft copies? I think I've given information. Just text us or email us, and we will get in touch with you with the further details. So I think that's that for us. If also you'd want to maybe reach out to us or find out more about our products, you can visit our website, www.publicspeakingtc.org. You can also visit our offices. We are at Luther Plaza along Nyerere Road in Nairobi. That is just right to the university. We're roundabout. You can just come there, visit us, visit our offices, and you're gonna have someone to tell you more about our services, as your preference. Some people like going to the website and just reading up by themselves. Some people want to come physically and visit our offices. So you're welcome. And also you can give us a call. That's our number, +254 734 300 900. Or you can send us an email to follow up on anything. Also, we have your emails, and this session has been recorded. We're going to send you a link to the replay so you can watch again, or you can share with your friends or someone who you felt needed to be here but couldn't make it. Again, so that's just that for us. Thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate you showing up.